Nice to meet you. My name is Danielle, and I'm Luke's fiance. I see. So you're Danielle. Yes, that's right. We are excited to be getting married soon. So I've heard a lot about you. You come from a single parent family, don't you? And you're an immigrant? Well, yes, I was raised by my father, and I'm very proud of him. Interesting. I'm not sure if I'm pleased to hear that.
Calm down, dear. Let's not be so harsh.
I'm sorry, is everything okay?
We're just a bit concerned.
About what?
Danielle, my parents just want what's best for us. They have high expectations, that's all.
But what seems to be the problem here?
No need to get defensive, dear.
I'm sorry, I really don't mean to. I'm just not sure what we're talking about. Is it my background that you have a problem with?
Please, Danielle, let's take this conversation inside, shall we?
Sure. My name is Danielle, and at the age of 31, I met Luke, a charming and vibrant 33-year-old man. Luke and I started dating, and as time went on, our connection deepened. He was different from anyone I had ever met before. He had a warmth and genuineness about him that made me feel safe and loved. I really felt like he would change my life, and I was excited about adding value to his. After a year of being together, Luke surprised me with a heartfelt proposal, and I couldn't help but say yes. We were on the path toward happily ever after, and I was excited. However, in hindsight, I realized that the decision was quite rushed. Of course, I actually had reasons to be so excited about him. This had a lot to do with my upbringing. I had grown up with just my father, a resilient and hard-working man who had single-handedly raised me after my mother's passing. They were both immigrants, and life had been a constant struggle for them. My father had worked tirelessly to provide for our small family, and his dedication had shaped the person I had become. It was this upbringing that made me hesitant to open my heart fully to love. The loss of my mother left a void in my heart, and I was afraid of being hurt. I was afraid of being left behind. But Luke's kindness and care shattered my reservations. He had a way of making me feel safe. He was really good at calming my nerves. We shared dreams, aspirations, and endless laughter. The more time we spent together, the more convinced I became that he was the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. And that was why I decided to commit to him even before meeting with his parents in person. The day came when Luke and I traveled to meet his parents for the first time. I had heard stories about their close knit family, and I was both excited and nervous to finally be a part of it. Little did I know that this encounter would shake the foundation of my relationship with Luke. Upon our arrival, we were greeted with a quiet and icy reception. Luke's parents, who I had hoped would welcome me with open arms, displayed an unwelcoming attitude from the very start. Nice to meet you. My name is Danielle, and I'm Luke's fiance. I see. So you're Danielle. Yes, that's right. We are excited to be getting married soon. So I've heard a lot about you. You come from a single parent family, don't you? And you're an immigrant? Well, yes, I was raised by my father, and I'm very proud of him. Interesting. I'm not sure if I'm pleased to hear that.
Calm down, dear. Let's not be so harsh.
I'm sorry, is everything okay?
We're just a bit concerned.
About what?
Danielle, my parents just want what's best for us. They have high expectations, that's all.
But what seems to be the problem here?
No need to get defensive, dear.
I'm sorry, I really don't mean to. I'm just not sure what we're talking about. Is it my background that you have a problem with?
Please, Danielle, let's take this conversation inside, shall we?
Sure. Luke's mother, in particular, seemed to have already formed an unfavorable opinion of me. The questions she fired at me felt more like accusations. I was taken aback when she kept bringing up my background of being raised in a single parent immigrant family. She insinuated that I was only marrying Luke for the sake of citizenship, dismissing the genuine love and connection we shared. After some beating around the bush, she finally asked about my intentions straight up. So, Danielle, tell me, what is it that you see in my son? Are you sure you're not just after his citizenship? Excuse me? I mean, you come from a single parent immigrant family and now you want to marry into a well established family like ours? It makes me wonder about your intentions. That's not fair. I genuinely care for him and he cares for me. We have a real connection.
Mom, please, let's not make assumptions about Danielle.
Oh, come on, look, you're blinded by love. She's just trying to secure her future. I wouldn't be surprised if she starts asking for money next. That's not true. I never expected any of this. I'm being attacked for things that have nothing to do with who I am.
Please, Danielle, don't make this a bigger deal than it is.
I won't stand here and be belittled like this. If you can't stand up for me, then maybe we need to reconsider everything. Oh, are you threatening to leave? Go ahead. I'm sure you'll find someone else to latch on to.
Danielle, please, let's talk about this. We can work through it.
Good riddance. I deserve better than this. Desperate to defend myself, I tried to explain that my love for Luke went far beyond any external factors, but to my dismay, Luke seemed to side with his parents. The support and belief I had always found in him were suddenly absent, leaving me disheartened and adrift. It was a painful blow to witness the person I loved most not standing up for me. Doubts crept into my mind, wondering if I had misjudged the depth of our connection or if the love I had believed in was nothing more than an illusion. As we left his parents' home, a heavy silence surrounded us. Luke did his best to comfort me, and without his parents around, he seemed to be back to his normal self. The path that lay ahead seemed uncertain and rocky, and my heart trembled at the thought of what would come next. I questioned whether our love was strong enough to overcome the obstacles that now stood in our way. Perhaps with time, understanding and empathy would bridge the gap between our families and heal the wounds. However, that never happened. The day I had been eagerly awaiting finally arrived, the day of our wedding. Surrounded by a sea of smiling faces, our beloved friends, families, and colleagues, Luke and I were ready to commit ourselves to one another. As the music began to play, my heart fluttered with a mix of nerves and joy. Arm in arm with my father, I took each step down the aisle, my eyes locked on Luke, who stood beaming with affection. The world around us faded into the background as our gazes met, and at that moment I was so happy. We began exchanging our vows.
Danielle, from the moment I met you, I knew there was something special about you. You brought light into my life. I am so grateful that I have found someone who would respect my family values no matter what. I promise to be there for you just as my family has always supported me. Together, we will build a life filled with the traditions that have shaped us into who we are. I love you, Danielle, and I can't wait to embark on this journey with you.
As Luke spoke his vows, something didn't feel quite right to me. While I appreciated his intention to honor and embrace family values, I couldn't help but notice that his focus seemed to center more on his family traditions. A sense of unease crept into my heart, questioning whether our love was truly a partnership that I had wanted. Nevertheless, caught up in the moment, I continued with my own vows, expressing the love and commitment to Luke. My voice trembled slightly as I promised to be there for him, to support him through life's ups and downs, and to cherish the love we had nurtured. Deep down, though, I couldn't ignore the doubt that had been sparked by Luke's vows. As Luke gently slid the ring onto my finger, I couldn't shake off a weird feeling. Still, I tried to brush it aside. Hand in hand, Luke and I walked back up the aisle, surrounded by the cheers and well wishes of those who supported us. Little did I know that it was the last moment of the day that I would feel joy. The atmosphere of the reception took an unexpected turn when Luke's parents were visibly intoxicated. It was evident to everyone present that something was weird, and a sense of concern rippled through the crowd. As the night progressed, Luke's mother's behavior grew increasingly disturbing. In a fit of anger, she turned her attention towards me, launching a verbal attack that left me stunned and hurt in front of everyone. So, Danielle, this is it. Just be honest with everyone here. Is it true that you're just a greedy wrench? Marrying my son for citizenship, huh? What? No, that's not true at all. Of course, you expect us to believe that. Yes, because it's the truth. Our love is about the connection we share and the life we want to build together. The life you want to build? And what exactly can you bring to the table, Danielle? I know what you're thinking. My background doesn't define me. I worked hard to overcome challenges and create a life for myself. Well, you'll make more money as a citizen, won't you? So, how about a little allowance? Say, $5,000? Are you serious? That's absurd. I would never ask for money or view our marriage as a financial transaction. I highly doubt it. You're just here for the money. The venom in her words cut deep, poisoning the atmosphere and casting a dark shadow over the festivities. It was a shockingly callous request, rooted in assumptions and prejudice. My father, never one to back down in the face of injustice, fiercely defended me and engaged in a heated with Luke's mother.
That's enough. How dare you belittle my daughter and make such offensive demands? This is not who we are, and we won't tolerate this kind of behavior.
Stay out of it. It's none of your business.
It is my business when my daughter is being attacked and disrespected. Unacceptable. We don't need to endure this, my dear.
You're right, Dad. The guests watched in disbelief as my mother-in-law continued to berate me, creating an uncomfortable scene. Luke's mother's true intention, hidden until now, was laid bare for all to see. It was a painful realization witnessing the people who were meant to be my family treat me with such disdain and disrespect. But what hurt me the most was Luke's response. In that moment of confrontation, he was just a coward who was failing to stand up for me when I needed him the most. The person I had believed would always be my rock and protector had disappointed me, leaving me feeling vulnerable and abandoned. The festivities were replaced by an air of tension and sadness. The guests exchanged uneasy glances, unsure of how to respond to the spectacle unfolding before them. It was a stark reminder that even in the midst of celebration, darkness could find its way into our lives, testing the bonds we held dear. In the moment of devastating betrayal, I made a decision that would alter the course of our lives. Without hesitation, I canceled the wedding then and there. I apologized to everyone and left the scene in just a few minutes. The sympathy and support from the guests served as a bittersweet comfort, reminding me that I was not alone in my pain. Yet deep down, I was devastated. I locked myself in my room for days after that incident. As the days unfolded, something shocking happened. It turned out that one of the guests at the wedding had taped the incident involving Luke's parents and uploaded it online. The video spread like wildfire on the internet. It went viral, leaving an ineligible mark on Luke's life and reputation. Of course, it was showing mostly his mom, but he was heavily criticized for not standing up for me while enabling his mom's insults against immigrants. The company he worked for caught wind of the incident and it became infamous for all the wrong reasons. Luke actually worked in HR, so that was a devastating blow to his career. The scandal tarnished his professional reputation. The trust and respect he had worked hard to build were shattered, leaving him without a job. He pleaded with me to come up with an excuse to shield him from the consequences of his family's actions, but I couldn't bring myself to protect him anymore. After all, he was someone who abandoned me when I needed him the most. My priority had shifted. It was time to focus on healing and moving forward. Though part of me may have felt a pang of guilt witnessing the consequences he faced, I decided not to help him. I had endured enough pain and humiliation, and I knew deep within my soul that I deserved better. Luke's actions had shattered the foundation of our relationship. There was no turning back. As I made the decision to leave him, I was met with a mixture of emotions, but knew deep down that it was an opportunity for me to redefine my own worth. The path ahead was uncertain, but I was determined to embrace it with resilience and courage. As I stepped away from our relationship, I reminded myself of my own worth and strength. I deserved a love that would lift me up, support me unconditionally, and stand by my side through the highs and lows. Fortunately, my father and loved ones were always there for me, supporting me with all their hearts. I'm so much happier now that I have had a better idea of what I want and the love I deserve. What would you have done if you were in my situation? Do you think I have dealt with it in the right way?